he gets authentic enough, right? He uses a little, he gets a little racy with his language, and he's excited.
Here's his personal,
Some
like ups and lows.
Some of those highs and lows I've heard before.
Yeah.
But
and some of them are like TMI, but you're like,
I've heard.
But it serves its purpose.
I've heard the story about the gutter cleaner about 3 times. He got a postcard from a realtor saying, "Hey, it's time to clean your gutters," and his wife, said, "Okay, Jason, it's time to clean your gutters." He's talking about leverage. It's in a whole conversation about leverage, and he calls the agent. And he's like, "Hey, could you stop sending those postcards to my house, because you're sending like a honey-do list. It's like every time you send something, it's like it just gets transferred to me." But it's all in the part of a conversation about leverage, which in that it's like, hey, what if you as a realtor bought a gutter person's time or subsidized or got a major discount for, and offered a solution instead of just an observation, a reminder.
Adding a big item on your to-do list.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that was part of my, one of my takeaways was the necessity to go in deeper with the people right, to offer more value. In a related conversation, my father-in-law has his desert property on the market, and he's just so impressed with this woman who lives in the complex, right? She lives in the development, and she's been working him for 10 years or so, staying in contact with him. And she offers, he's impressed because she offers all these kind of support services, the lock, something's wrong with the lock on the listing, and so she gets the guy out there, she gets it fixed, and and she sends him the bill, right? And he's like, "Oh, that's great," it's like she's taking care of all this stuff for me when I'm not there. And I'm like, well, that's how she adds value. That's how she keeps you in the game. That's how she keeps you as a client, is by adding that value. She has a mechanism for it because probably 50 to 70% of her clients are absentee owners, right? And so how do I find value for my absentee owners so that when they have the need to buy or sell real estate, they're thinking about me. And she's been doing that previously also when he's had problems. She'll go in there and bring in a handyman, and so that's the question. And one of my takeaways is, how do you and he started out with this: technology is not going to get you the business, okay? You are going to get you the business, and by showing value with your potential clients. So that's my bit.
But you got to be on board with the technology in order to spread your message.
As the way, yes, absolutely. AI. My other takeaway was the importance of AI as a tool and leverage, and the way it creates more. It creates more space so you can have more high touch conversations, right?
It was also important what he said, that your clients are using AI to research you, whether you know it or like it or not. So accept it, encourage it, and acknowledge it.
Yep.
And don't bury your head in the sand.
You're right, and to that point, I saw that as a call for me to get more proactive about teaching and learning. I'm getting pretty good at prompting now. Like, I'm really understanding my relationship with at least ChatGPT and Midjourney. They're the two I've been using.
The one, it wasn't my original aha, but this is reminding me. He also said something that I was not aware of with AI about trust with AI and superfluous, like aggrandizing comments that you might have in your bio, in something like that.
Delicious, what did you use?
Grandiose.
Yeah, so like
grandiose.
people,
Like the number one
like the
agent.
best agent in LA, just, for lack of something better. If you use something like that, the AI kicks you down a notch because there's no attribution, there's no proof. Whereas if you wanted to use, say, a testimonial from a client and say so-and-so bought a house in blah, blah, blah about Charlotte Lake Realtor or whatever, then it not picks you up, because what AI is also looking for, which is the difference between like a regular SEO and Google search versus AI, is it's trying to give the user correct information, and it's trying to think. So if it thinks you're overstating yourself, it will lower your search results, lower your information.
It's your trust score. There's a trust score. Everybody has a trust score.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different, and that's
Well, I
more
think
of an
that's-
SEO thing. It's all starting.
I think it's at the root of it, though.
Yeah, but I don't know that the AIs call it the same thing. I know what you're talking about.
No, they don't. They don't call it the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
the same. It's trusted sources of information. They want to give you the most trusted sources of information. So it's
As opposed to just a list that you click on.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rudimentary. It starts in that rudimentary piece that Paul actually touched on when he was here for in his little dialogue, and it's like making sure that all of your information online is congruent, right? Is that then that my name is I use Joey, right? But some places it's Joseph, right? And lucky for me, I don't have a common last name, so it's able to sort through that inconsistency.
What he said is the same thing. Is it also has to do with trust.
Yeah.
Is if your names are different, it's not trusting that you're the same person.
Yeah.
Don't use your logo, use your photo, because I guess there's some legal thing about facial recognition in AI, but it is there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the little details.
So I was thinking, so I'm looking through my notes and I'm like, we could sort of recap the whole thing,
Yeah.
but maybe the primary highlights that we got, just to make it a little easier, and you guys are certainly welcome to talk to us more about it, right?
Yep.
Just as a thought. So regarding AI, they recommend putting a page in your listing presentation and your bio presentation about AI, because you want to get ahead of it because it's out there. So he actually talked about doing 2 columns where it's agent intelligence and artificial intelligence, and sort of what you bring that artificial intelligence, AI, can't bring. So I thought that was a really
But
good
also,
tip.
what are you using it for? So tell
Yeah,
them,
this is
I'm
what-
going to use AI to assist me in writing a heartfelt, story-oriented listing description, or whatever it is you do use it for, so they don't think you're burying your head in the
Right.
sand.
So to that point, to the AI point, where I'm going to start teaching the AI playbook in sections.
Another thing that I noted, again, just trying to give you sort of, from my end, sort of bullet point, be first for the listing appointment. Because he mentioned that 81% of sellers go with the first agent they meet. So he's like, I don't care if your presentation is perfect. All right, I know, well, that's what he did. He's like, but you just want to get there and get that appointment. So if you're not sure about an appointment, partner with someone who does know, but get that appointment. So yeah, I mean, it may not be accurate, but that was what he said. So being first and being there is sort of half the.
Yeah, and those are national numbers.
Yeah, well, in markets where, the first year agent is expected to do 16 transactions because the price point is $200, $300, $1,000. It's a whole different thing. Yeah.
The other thing that stuck out to me, because I am not Chuck, and I do not knock on doors, which you love and you're great at it, but that's not me. And he made a point to say with lead generation, just really pick the thing that you like. Pick the thing that you're gonna do, because they give you so many ideas. It's cold calls, knock on doors, do this and do that. And if it doesn't resonate with you, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna be successful at it. So do what works for you.
If it's not door knocking, you better figure out some other way to get in front of potential clients.
Yeah, and then the other thing, which I've heard a million times, and I'm totally
Blow
the
off.
person that does, that uses this as an excuse. When you're doing, like, if you have to do video on social media or whatever it is, you don't want to do it because you don't like the way you look. And he's like, but that's the way you look. And when they meet you, that's the way you look. So just do it, and don't get so hung up on
Yeah.
it.
If they don't like you.
I do not practice what I preach,
Right.
but it did
Yep.
hit home. So.
Anybody else who was there want to share? Anybody online? Anybody?
One of my biggest, in addition to what we discussed, was like, you have to decide whether, like, in your lead generation, if you want to focus on your database, like the people who you know, who might already like you and trust you, or if you want to go after like strangers, like whether you're doing cold calling, open houses, whatever it is. But he said, just know in the end, even if you're doing number two, if you're going like after the people that you don't know, your goal is to move them into that first group, which is your personal database, because that's where your business is.
Right.
Don't forget that your Rolodex is your bit, like that's your business.
Yeah. No, the first inquiry is there enough business in my database today to get me what I want, right? And if there isn't, then you're still working your database, and you're doing activities to bring more people into that database. But inevitably, it's the plan that you have for your database that everybody that you don't know is going to get on anyway, right? The converting complete strangers to clients in a matter of days, hours, or minutes is not really, it's not something that's very, very common. Converting them over time is and showing value is the ticket. Excellent. Yeah, excellent. All right. Excellent. Thanks, you guys. Let's look at new concept for Samantha. You want to talk about it?
Sure. I decided to have like office hours because some people have told me I feel like you're so busy. So I am busy, and at the same time, I'm here for everyone. So on Thursdays, we don't have a lot of meetings and stuff. So if you want to schedule time with me specifically to go over command or MLS or zip forms or strategizing or setting up your templates, whatever you want. Like I've set up at the end of my email signature, it says, schedule the time with me on Thursday. Happy to do that. Again, I'm here all the time, but I just thought this might make it a little more accessible for you if you want to schedule dedicated time where we'll sit down and tackle whatever you want.
Excellent. Excellent. Take advantage of it. All right. Also, save the date Halloween office fun. Ooh, what's that mean?
We don't have the actual plan yet. Halloween is on a Friday, but we know that turnout in the office on a Friday is not so high, so we might do something on Wednesday combined with the team meeting, but the culture committee is working on that and more info to come, but just wanted to let you know the office will be doing something fun.
I'm sure it'll be something humiliating for me, but I'll go with it. All right. Dragana.
If you haven't heard yet, although I think most of you were here last week, we are doing again our annual pop-up gallery
Very, very
event.
exciting.
It's happening on Saturday, November 15th, and it's our offices, like brokerage's one and only open house of the year. That's your opportunity to connect with your database, invite them to come over for a fun evening, completely free. There's no, like entrance fee or anything like that. We'll have food, we'll have drinks, we'll have like a DJ, we'll have great art, like we are also, like as part of reaching out to the community, we are asking artists who sell pieces of art to donate part of proceeds, like that will go towards Larchmont Charter School, which we support. Many of our agents' kids have gone there, and many of our clients, go there. So we just love to do something nice for the community. Samantha, and Christine
It's
have
super
already,
fun.
it's
super
a
fun.
great event,
500, 600 people over the course of the night show up. It's a great place for you to interact with your friends and family and clients.
and colleagues, invite like other agents from other brokerages to come to see what, we are about. We move, just logistically, we move out like all of this furniture here, and this becomes a great party
closer to what it
space.
used to be as an event
Diana,
space.
I saw this thing about the sponsorship opportunities. Are
Yes.
you looking for sponsors? How can we help?
We are looking for sponsors. Again, we look to connect with our community to offer opportunities to other businesses, maybe among your clients, maybe somebody in the neighborhood who has a business that wants to promote and that wants to be part of the event. Mainly would be great, in the past, we have had, restaurants, coffee shop, ice cream places, the makers of some drinks, donate their food and and drinks. That's always they promote their business. They can have their point of sale, things at the event. They can be present there serving food or whatever it is, and they can talk to people
it's not
about
for anybody to be selling anything.
Yeah.
It's about promoting your product.
Yeah. So they will have the access to the community and people who can support them. So we help them do that. Another way they can participate is we've had in the past, for example, businesses on Larchmont, the eyewear store, the diptyque,
I talked to Clark Street.
Baker, yeah.
They're interested.
They will as part of the art show, a very fun part, we do an art raffle, and also we include some other raffle items so that everybody can get something out of it, so they can donate the gift card for their business. And in the end, when we do, so this is our save the date graphics, but once we select the artist, which is going to happen in 10 days, we are going to make the final graphic, the official invitation for the event. We're going to print out, you'll be able to pick up some physical ones that you can use when you door knock. We're going to send out the final graphics with the name of all the artists.
Put it in your newsletter, put it in your social media. Use it as a way to communicate some additional value to your sphere other than real estate.
And also on that final invitation, we also include logos of all the businesses
sponsors.
And sponsors. So we have a one sheet that we have sent out before. We'll be sending it all the time. That's a solicitation letter that you can send to anybody you think it might be a good idea for them to promote their business. That really lays out what the event is about, what they can achieve in it. It's a really great, professionally put together that you can use to share the information. And then, the sooner the better, because many businesses do need, especially in it's a corporate situation, they need approvals, higher up. So please, spread the news, reach out to people, just use it as your, reach out and, and your leads.
Again, I go deep on it. It's a B2B conversation. Yeah. It's you're looking for opportunities from these people also, and you're giving them an opportunity.
Correct.
Right? So, hey, I'd like to help your business by exposing you to 500-600 people, and in the future.
And more, because we'll be advertising to more people who might not be able to make it to the event. But anyway, we've got all of this. Look for the graphics that you can use to make your job easier, in the daily emails. And you can also we have some of these sponsor opportunities printed up. They'll be at the front desk, and once we have the final invitation, they're going to be at the front, in the front desk, in a couple of weeks, so you can use
Excellent. Excellent. Yay.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Okay, upcoming classes. We have the pivot year is there something in there?
No, I'm just going to move this.
Oh. Do we have Lorna or Tracy on there?
Yeah, I'm here. We're, of course, reading the Pivot Year. We had a great reading today, which was sort of like Gary Keller's saying, what you focus on expands, something along those lines. And we were just talking about things that move us and what we're focusing on. And just talking very much about getting into your database and communicating with people. Those are the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest people to kind of communicate with is the people in your sphere. So, just focusing on that. And that's what's happening right now at the 9 a.m. We're gonna get back into Lisa's next week.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Yeah, we couldn't either. That's why it's next week.
I love it. All right, excellent, thank you. Also script practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 9 on Zoom. Also Scott Leroy, God bless him, every day, 10 to 11, he will take apart your command topics. And the mentee meeting, 12:30 to 1:30 after the meeting.
Samantha's back.
Oh, yeah.
Company, Joey.
Yeah, exactly. If you got bored of hearing me, you got Samantha back. Brokers Caravan yesterday. There's just so much to see. So much to see, right? I don't know if anybody's buying it, but there's lots of properties popping up. What did you guys see yesterday that you want to share, Charles?
There's a lovely property in Wilshire Vista on Stanley, the 1200 block of Stanley, 1243, and it's interesting, it's a 2-bedroom, maybe 2-bath house, maybe 2.5-bath house with an ADU, and it's lovely, and a beautiful pool, and it's gorgeous. And
There was a line out the door.
1695, something like that. It's a really great value. If you know someone looking in that 1.7 or under price point, they absolutely need to go see this. If they want to, the full take the whole backyard.
Right, and it looks really beautiful. I didn't get to see it, but it looked really. I saw the pictures. My father-in-law sent it to me, of course. Right.
It's got some feels to it. So.
Yeah.
43 South Stanley, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I got there at 11, just because I wanted to see it, and had a bunch of other stuff to see, and they were opening a little tiny bit late, like 3-4 minutes late, and there were 12 people waiting outside, so.
Well, it's the pricing is.
It's a 1,850 house.
Well, the thing to know though about it is being
That's a
advertised
small-
as a 3-bedroom, and it is not a 3-bedroom. It is a 2-bedroom house, so if you've got like I have a family that has 2 kids, so it wasn't appropriate for them.
Well, the
Because the
ADU.
3rd bedroom is in the ADU,
Yeah.
but it was a really sweet property, great block.
Yeah.
And
Excellent.
I saw Heidi.
And a smart pricing plan, pricing strategy.
It is a small house. It's under
I
1,200 square
understand.
feet.
But you take, there's a similar house, sounds the pool, like the Cloverdale house. That's also a 2-bedroom, right? 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and they went for,
That little High Point house of ours is gonna close next week at 1.6,
where'd you start it?
1,499, but if our house is 1.6, this house is 1.8, 1,850.
Yeah.
Pool plus ADU plus a bigger lot, plus.
Yeah, it was really
Plus
cute,
more
really
value.
pretty.
Yeah, and we went up, which Heidi, Chelan? Or
Shalon.
Shalon?
Yeah.
Challenge.
I said Shalon and Andrew.
I said, well, because I thought you said shalom.
Oh.
That's just habit.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's very cool. It's very,
I think it's
so
super.
light and bright and
Yeah.
pretty and clean.
And surprise, right?
Just, yeah, really, really nice.
It's the street view is so understated and
Yeah, I couldn't
it's kind
find
of-
it even.
Oh, it kind of opens up as you get in there, and
Yeah.
it really is.
Nice house.
You feel like you're in an architectural experience, number one. It has lots of square footage. It's just about getting up there and feeling comfortable with the, with the environment, right? Being in the hills, right? If you want to live in the hills,
A
well,
lot of people still want to live in the hills.
yeah, I hope so, because there's lots of inventory that, that needs to be sold up there, right? No, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really beautiful, and the outside space, and it has all the bells and whistles. I would live there, for sure. Yeah. Anybody else?
I would just say, you know, the two $20 million, interesting to
Yeah.
compare those two, because one's in the flats on a great lot on Alta, not Alta, Arden, and the other's up in the Doheny Hills. So
Yep.
it was just interesting to see the two, which are both new.
Yeah.
Although one is a new build, right? The Doheny.
Yeah, you get, you actually get more, there's the flats, you get a little less house on the flats, right? Yeah,
So,
right. But both beautiful houses, one new build and one total renovation. Both gorgeous.
like you could tell somebody, oh, this is a new build, and they wouldn't really, if they didn't know that that was a 26 Spanish, right?
Oh, the Arden house.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arden
It
Drive.
just seems all.
Yeah.
clean it is.
Yeah, no, it's totally, every inch of it's been touched interior-wise. Yeah, no, beautiful.
And what I didn't know was that, you know, it's Casa de something, what is it called? Latte or?
Yeah, whatever you
Turns
say.
out to be that means vein, as in weather vane.
Huh?
I've never heard of
The
that.
house with the weather vane.
Yeah.
Does it still have a weather vane on it? I didn't take a look. We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah.
Love it. But the house had a name. Josh?
Something that was just interesting to me, I brought clients to a house that was like, that was the village area. It was 2 beds, 1 bath. I thought it was actually just okay, 1.25. It had a garage in the back, a huge backyard. Came on the market last week. I showed up at 1 o'clock with my clients. He said I was the first person to go. And I just thought it was so interesting, just kind of like a tail of the market. He said it was pretty busy over the weekend. Now that it's because so many beaches are having, so hope their own brokers open because so much inventory in the market. I thought it was, like you said, yeah, more you can come over the weekend. Exactly. Something.
One agent.
First person that can come on.
Interesting. It was his first broker's open too?
That actually makes a lot of sense, because like I've been hosting my own, haven't been able to see as much. It's been like, I need to go see properties.
But then,
I feel like we need like a second broker's open.
yeah. And at the same time, I wanted to know how many people maybe that come over the weekend or like going without their agent. They also have this,
Previewing. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I mean, in the Beverlywood, a small house like that in in Beverlywood?
It's like the border, it's just on the east side of Robertson. So
Oh, yeah. That's Rainier Village. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Rainier Village? Yeah.
Laura.
Slightly different, but
No.
excellent. Thanks. Anybody else on Caravan? All right. We have Forward One coaching Monday and Friday on Zoom and in person. Core services. Andy, are you with us today? Maybe?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little technical difficulty or challenge. Hi. Not much to report. Fed is meeting towards the end of the month. We're anticipating another rate drop in October as well as November. And then it seems like they're going to keep watching employment. The idea is, you know, they can't have it all, right? They can't manage inflation and then also watch the employment information and employment data. Watch that slide. You can't do both, right? And so lowering the interest rates will obviously affect and help anybody, consumers just in general, impact affordability around everything, right? Whether it's groceries or buying a car, dropping the Fed fund rate will lower that and lower that issue. The anticipation for next year is that we'll see at least a 1% rate drop in the Fed fund rate as well. So of course it can all change, but that's the expectation. We should see a 0.25% in October and a 0.25% in November of this year, and then an additional 1% drop next year. So people are definitely coming out of the woodwork. Rates are holding steady. We haven't seen the 10-year go or dip below that 4% mark, but They are holding steady, and people are definitely inquiring and thinking now is the time to get ducks in a row. So that's about it.
They're holding steady at what, like 6.5, six and,
I mean, it of course depends on somebody's credit profile and how much they're putting down. Let's just say on average 6.25. I've quoted some refinances with a 5 in front of it. If somebody's putting enough down on a purchase, let's call it 30%, you could hypothetically see a 5 in front of it. So
all right, that's exciting.
it is exciting.
You see percolation of interest from the buyer side through applications?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, there still isn't necessarily an eagerness or an urgency, right? I mean, COVID was certainly an anomaly, but there's not the urgency now. There's a little bit more inventory. We're still under from an inventory perspective. There's a whole generation of buyers that are in the market, a new generation of buyers that are in the market that have been sitting tight. And there's a lot of new generation buyers with a lot of money that are sitting tight. So, yeah, people are definitely interested and they're getting ready. So,
All right. Yippee-yi-yo.
yeah,
Let's go. Thanks, Andy.
you bet.
You're the best. Duncan Corey. Duncan. All right. He's transitioning from shorts to long pants. It's about that season, right? All right. Birthday. Oh, no birthdays, but we do birthdays last week. Some closings. Excellent. All right. Alexis Kim, congratulations on Ardmore. Vanya Rincon, congratulations on 68th. Pete Bonacore, congrats on Plymouth on 2nd Street. Eileen Lanza, Reno Street. Also Jan Hohenstein on Gould, and Dragana, congratulations on Romaine. Yay. All right. Some new escrows. Adam on Ocean View and Rachel and Tiffany on Clearbrook. Congratulations. Some closed leases on with a handful. Spring, Grand, First, and Plymouth. When you look at On's business, you look at these 4 here, I can assure you that in the next 3 years, he'll be selling at least one of those properties, right? Also, Jenny Kim closed a referral in Johns Creek, Georgia. Wherever that is. Excellent. What's that? Atlanta, outside Atlanta? And Atlanta's going to be where family reunion is this year, right? That's exciting. I'm excited for that. I haven't been there for a long time. We have some new listings. Christina Kim on Grand Avenue has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,359 square foot condo for sale or for lease. That is $1,030,000 for sale, and for lease, $4,395. Vinnie Park on Westchester. He has 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,456 square feet for just a smidge under $2 million. Stacy Hahn, I just saw Stacy on Franklin and La Crescenta, has a 3-bedroom, 4-bath, 2,286 square feet for let's try that again, for $1,850,000 in La Crescenta. Also, Sean Cheng has a Hope Street property, beautiful, 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,580 square foot condo for $1.475. Dae Young Her on Virgil in the Element has a condo for $710,000, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and 1,040 square feet. And Annie Lee has a 3-bedroom, 4-bath lease, 1,630 square feet on Hauser Boulevard, 2300 block of Hauser for $4,150. Annie Lee also has a lease on Elmwood, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,370 square feet. And Pete has a lease on Willow Glen. It's a three-bedroom, three bedrooms, four bath, 3,345 square feet lease for 9,500. Did I get that out?
It's still up for sale.
What's the sale price?
2.2, but is that something that's moderately close to that? People talk to it. People take it and talk to it.
All right, a motivated seller is what we call that, or a motivated agent, one of the two. Yeah, I like both of them. Laura has a lease on Stearns. It's 1, 2, 3, 5.5 Stearns Drive. It's a one-bedroom, one bath, 554 square feet for $2,375 per month. Lena Deneroff has a, is this a multifamily or is it, all right, we'll call it a four-bedroom, two-bath on Westchester Place. That is 2,703 square feet for lease at 3,600. Yeah. All right, coming soon in the MLS, we have De Young Her, has Sea Pine and La Crescenta. Beautiful sky shot. I love that wide view, that wide angle view, right? I love the work on it. La Crescenta, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,070 square feet for $1,890,000 coming up. If you have anybody. Also, Angela Bond has a property in Glendale on is that lasagna?
That's kind of what it looks like.
Let's call it lasagna.
Lasagna Drive on Glendale, 4 bedroom, 3 bath,
It's
2,000.
exactly how you spell it in Serbian, by the way. I swear to you, like I just one word, yeah.
4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,605 square feet coming on for $2,195,000. Looks nice. And then the question is, pocket listings coming soon. What do you guys have? Anything? Anybody? Nothing. Okay, better start selling what we have then.
I have one coming to La
Charlotte?
Piñata next year, if anyone has people looking in LCF for the schools or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be next year, I don't know exactly when yet.
What kind of property is it?
4 bedroom, 4 bath, about 20,000 square foot lot, pool.
Half of an acre almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's in a, I mean, all the schools are amazing there. In fact, I think they were just voted #1 in the
California?
state in California.
The school system.
Yeah, but it's in the even more preferred elementary school area. Very private, cul-de-sac. It's a 1 level. We're just doing some zhuzhing to it, about 4,000 square feet.
What style is it, Charlotte?
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, when's Jen gonna pop up? Ranch,
Sneaky little
it's a
thing you are.
1920s ranch, Jen. I'll talk to you about it.
So in the 4 million, 5 million, 6 million range. What is
No, it's a
$1,000
bit of a
square.
fixer. It depends how much we do to it. I think we'll probably go out somewhere between 3.8 and 4.
Yeah.
It's got like a double living room, so the main original living room is a little bit darker, and then they took what I guess must have been an enclosed porch at one point and made a huge, it's all permitted and everything,
Yeah.
a huge living room. That one's got more of a modern vibe to it. It's a nice house, but it is a bit of a fixer.
Yeah.
You know, we're only
It's
gonna
fun.
do so much.
Sure. Sure. Anybody else have coming soon pocket listings? You want to share? Anybody online? Anybody? Anybody?
I do. This is Jen, Lana. How's it going? Hi, I have a beautiful little renovation. We're staging today, actually. So we should be on in the next few weeks. A little over 3,100 square feet, gorgeous views, right off of Mulholland, very close to Runyon, but not like crazy too high up. So you feel really that accessibility from the valley or dipping into Hollywood. And and we're going to be,
Hollywood side or Hollywood side?
you can, it's like right near, Desmond Estates. Do you know where that is? Is that right?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's right off of, it's La Cuesta, or sorry, not La Cuesta. That was my other house over there. It was Cervantes. It's on Cervantes, and it'll be in the low threes, and I'd love you guys all to see it.
Can't wait. When do you think it's coming on? Another month?
No, sooner than that. We're doing pictures Monday, so
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Excellent.
Thanks. Oh, and thanks,
Yeah.
Charlotte. Charlotte's so awesome. Everyone loves Charlotte, but I just want to give a shout out to Charlotte in case I'm not on here at the end.
You're in. I actually have a friend who bought a property on Bellagio Road, right in the Bel Air edge, right, literally on the Bel Air edge. It's their house and then Sepulveda and then the 405. There is some noise there, but it is Bel Air and it's a lovely little enclave there, right below, what is that, Rupert Murdoch, his estate there. And it's, he bought it to be close to his dad. I'll tell you the whole sordid story. He just had a baby, bought it to be close to his dad, and they closed in December, and they had the baby, and they had 3 lovely months with the baby and the dad passed away. And so, he's got 2 houses now in that pocket. He's fixing up the dad's house to accommodate all of his future needs, and he's going to be selling the house that he just bought after he did some work on that. So that's probably in the 2.3, 2.4 range for anyone. It's a lovely traditional house that has a lot of square footage. It's like 4 bedrooms and like some auxiliary space, like a big. It could be 5 bedrooms, so like a huge primary with its own bathroom. So if you have anybody interested in that, I could show it at any time, right? I'm hoping to, that he doesn't lose money on it. But he did some good stuff to it. He did a lot of, he redid the whole foundation and a bunch of plumbing and non-sexy stuff. We'll see if he gets it, right? Mm-hmm. It won't come up in inspections. That's a good thing once you get somebody in there. Okay. Anyone else? Pocket listings coming soon? Anybody? Any news? Any community corner? Any wants, needs, fill the bucket?
Does anybody have awareness? Is there anything out there for the hills other than Fair Plan for insurance?
Did I give you WOW?
No.
It's a private insurance, but they do everything. It's just costly, and it doesn't make sense. What's the price of the property?
Well, it's just all my listings are high fire, every single one.
Right. Yeah. I'll give you some.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really, it's another option. It's a California accredited insurance, right? It's like Lloyd's of London kind of.
Oh, it's a surplus line.
Yeah, what's that?
It's surplus line, so it might be really pricey. Well, whatever.
Yeah. You asked if there were other options.
Yeah.
It's not going to be cheaper.
No, I get it. Well, and Fair Plan actually supposedly just got approval to raise their rates like 36% or something.
Right.
So they suck and they're expensive.
Well, they have to, the Fair Plan is underwritten by any of the insurance companies that want to do business in California. So they're paying any of the surpluses that might come from that. I think after the Palisades, Altadena fires, they had like a $2 billion call in or something, some ridiculous amount of money that they had to put into the coffers of the California.
I don't know. I'd just like to kind of keep on top of it. If anybody starts to hear of people kind of coming back into the market, please speak up.
I think it's a little early, but yeah. Agreed. All right. Anybody else wants these? What do you have, Andrew?
Question, is anybody familiar with a complex in downtown Burbank? It's where the mall is and the AMC theaters and the independent shops. But
The Americana?
No.
No,
they're
which
not-
mall?
not like that.
Oh, sorry.
So it's like the town center.
It's the Valley, man.
But part of it is there's a unit for sale through the Burbank Housing Authority.
Mm.
But there's also a market rate unit, so that's almost 3 times more. So the housing authority.
The low-income housing piece of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you have to have a certain income.
Sure.
level. Has anybody?
For
because
sale?
Huh?
For sale?
Yeah, they can sell them.
So for one person, you have to make a certain amount, it's like 79 to 84,000 capped, and then it goes up to 4 people, and of course the income goes up. But you can't pay cash, and I don't think resale, you can actually get really a profit on it, I think.
No, they restrict the profit, you probably could get a profit on it.
But very large.
Right, because they're keeping it.
Right.
The idea was that they keep it at a certain pricing structure to accommodate lower income housing ownership or rental. They have them rentals also.
Right, but you can't buy it to use it as a rental.
You cannot rent it out. No. Nope.
In the private remarks, so, but I guess nobody else is, because I wasn't familiar with that. I
Yeah.
saw the listing, and I called the agent, and she finally called me back yesterday. She's had a few other questions.
Yeah, it's a great program for those who
Who need it,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Who has stomach for it?
What's that?
I said, who has stomach for it? I mean, like, we're aware of, I guess, all the limitations and the,
Sure. Yeah.
like, opportunity
Yeah.
and limitation and what it takes.
What's the sale price?
303.
303.
And the other unit?
Huh?
And the other comparable unit?
It's like 800,000,
Yeah.
but it's also 300 square feet larger.
Okay, so it's not on direct.
So I think for the income limited, they're smaller floors.
Sure.
They're not.
Yeah, well,
as big.
I mean, if you're a builder and you have to build a certain amount of square footage and a certain amount of units to get a certain amount of units back, it's like they had a trade-off.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it in person, but in pictures, looks very bright and light and not, totally cramped or anything. So for 890 square feet. And it's got 1 bathroom, not 2, which is the other difference.
Sure.
Okay.
Sacrifice for a $500,000 difference,
Right.
right? Yeah. Anybody else? No one? Anyone? Online? Yeah? Christina, you done your traveling for the summer? Are you done with your traveling for the summer? No. Oh, you're done? Okay.
It was amazing.
Because I was a little jealous. Okay. If you want to be honest.
Does anybody need help with open houses?
Get in there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Real slow.
All right. Notable, we have him online.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that, I'm sorry. So we are adding on a vendor who we sought out, right? Notable is the company behind the Compass Concierge. They offer a very, very clean pathway to transitional financial support for your sellers, and we're going to hear more about it. Who's on here, Sean or
Danielle.
Danielle? Hi, Danielle. How are you today?
Doing well. How are you?
I don't want to oversell it because I'm going to leave some space for you to do your thing.
No worries. You gave a good summary, so I'm excited to get started here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if that's okay. And that way we can get going here. So just let me know. It looks like it's the full screen. Can you see that okay?
No, not yet.
Oh,
Brian, what do we do?
I see it on my end.
Well, that's helpful.
let me know if I need to do something differently, but I
1 second. We have the second layer of tech support coming in.
no worries. Well, while that's getting going, I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. My name is Danielle Weinreb. I actually was a licensed loan officer prior to coming to Notable. Reason I am so excited about this product specifically is because, as I'm sure you have witnessed as well, how grueling the underwriting process is for these sellers, when really their only two options are to go HELOC or cash out refi to get the equity out of their home. So this is a much quicker process, and it will allow you to hopefully win more listings, close a bit quicker as well. And essentially it's saving about, I would say, it's selling about 30% quicker when using this program and 9% higher. So those are the most recent data stats that we have when clients have been using this. And just to go into an overcap here, so this is going to be hassle-free financing for clients to defer home sale expenses until closing. This is a credit limit of up to 50K, super quick and easy application. We're not collecting income documents. This is going to be a soft pull, so it's actually not going to be harming your client's credit score in any way. And then this is easily repaid through escrow. So they don't pay a dime until they get to the closing table, which I'll go a little bit more into as well. So some of the top use cases, this is a very flexible program in terms of what they can actually use it for. As you can see, there's a plethora of use cases on here, but I do like to give a little story just to show the versatility of the program as well. So basically, I had a 96-year-old woman using this. She had her kids that lived out of state. She was a bit elderly, so she really needed help in getting her home sold. We were actually able to approve her for 4 months of assisted living. With that, we also paid for her moving expenses to the facility. We paid for a storage pod for anything that she couldn't fit in the facility, cleaning expenses, new carpets, and then also fresh coats of paint. So we did some small repairs as well. So that goes to illustrate the differences between working with us and then, a company like Curbio or Boss Cat, where you have to use their contractors only specifically for those use cases. So this can really be implemented at any point in the selling process, whether that's pre-list up until 7 days before closing. So there's a pretty wide net. We do have a lot of agents using this as kind of a safety net as well. Because it's a soft pull, it's also zero cost if they don't actually tap into the line. It doesn't hurt to see what the sellers have in their back pocket. So they're pitching it kind of like, hey, why don't we just see what we have in terms of using it just in case anything comes up with the appraisal repairs, necessary or whatever the case may be throughout the sales process. So obviously pretty flexible in terms of what we can do. Any questions on the use cases?
I did have an agent ask if, an agent in a multifamily, if the money could be used to buy out a tenant.
Buying out a tenant. So that's a tricky one. I would say no, just because it would be essentially used to pay off part of, I don't think that would be a solid use case, but I can definitely get clarity on that. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I know the generalized guideline is if it's not being used to pay off their current mortgage or purchase a new home. So I'm not exactly sure on that one.
Yeah, it is a cost of sale. It's just a very specific cost of sale.
Exactly. So that would be definitely something we could bring to our.
I would think if you couch it in, like you said, with the woman moving to assisted living, you're essentially relocating an inhabitant. So it's
Right.
whether it's homeowner or not, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not paying off a debt.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely something I can get clarity on. Temporary housing would be totally okay for the seller. I'm just not exactly sure since it's a tenant living in there. But I would say it would be a good use case if we can get that approved.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other questions on the use cases here?
Use a stipulation of acceptance.
Say that one more time.
Is use a stipulation of being accepted into the program?
No. So basically they can apply and see what they qualify for. They will get 5K quick draw once they're approved, meaning no questions asked. After that, in order for them to get the direct deposit, we would need to see an invoice or statement of work. So not for approval, it is for getting it dispersed into their account.
Got it.
So I'm sorry, can you explain that? Are you saying they would have to go out of pocket and get reimbursed?
No, they just need an invoice to be paid.
Or a quote, or a statement of work. Yeah, just to make sure.
It's not like a HELOC where you have like a debit card or checks. You have to be specific about the use.
So yeah, after the initial 5K draw, they would just need to make sure it's for one of the approved use cases. So in that situation that we were just discussing, the underwriters would then, decide if that's a proper use case for the program, and then they would release the funds into the account of their choosing.
And what is the 50,000 based on? Is it based on the soft credit pull, the equity, or the use, or all three?
So the soft pull is going to determine them eligible or not for the program. They have to be above 680 credit minimum. And then the equity is what's depicting the actual amount that they get approved for.
And the equity is based on the agent's assumption of
Yes.
value, or?
Yeah, so when they go through the application, they're going to put the list price in, and then we do use an AVM to just ensure that it's in the ballpark of, certain comps in the area. And then you, as the agent, will also verify that that's the price that you'll be listing it at.
So for someone who is potentially facing like default or foreclosure and their credit's taken a hit, this program is not for them?
Right. Yeah, I would say for that situation, this is really for the ease and I would say quickness of getting funds. So someone that has a lot of equity tied into the home, also in terms of, not wanting to liquidate 401k or choose which stocks that they can, liquidate as well. So those are certain aspects, but I would say they would just need sufficient credit in order to get this, because we're not collecting income documents. It's not a 2-week underwriting process. It typically is happening to get approved the same day and then get same day access up to 50K in funds.
Great, thank you.
Of course. Awesome. So obviously important thing here, what does it cost? I do like to get into this because the 8.99 to 16.99 can look jarring, but the reason why our program is a bit different than those traditional products is we calculate it on a monthly basis. So their interest is only getting accrued from the time that they tap into the funds until they close on the home. So that could be a couple of months. On average, we're seeing home selling in about 3 months. So if you divide this rate by 12, it's about 1% on average each month. So that from when they start tapping into it until they close, if it were to sell in 3 months, it'd be roughly around a 3% interest rate only on what's used. And then if they do not tap into the funds, they do not owe us anything. And there is an up to $4.99 origination charge that gets deducted from principal only if they tap in. So if they don't actually tap in, they don't owe a dime. Any questions?
Is the rate based on the credit score of the individual?
Correct. Yes. So that's why we give a range. So it would be okay for you to pitch it as 1% on average, just because you're not going to know exactly which range they would fall into.
Great.
Any other questions on the pricing here? And they will see it split up monthly when they're going through the application. So it gives them the monthly interest as well.
So basically, in a nutshell, it's 1% origination fee when used, and 1% per month on average.
It's up to $499 for the origination fee that gets deducted from the principal at closing, only if they use it. And then if the 1% accrues from the time that they actually tap into the funds until they close.
Yeah. Excellent.
Perfect. Okay, great. So just to go over a little generalized eligibility requirements, the clients must be a U.S. resident. they must have a listing agreement in place. This is honestly to protect you because we want to ensure that they're closing with one of our partnered agents. This is exclusive to our partners, so we want to ensure that they have a listing agreement in place. However, it does not need to be live on the MLS. So if you don't want to get days on market, it doesn't need to be listed. We just need that agreement in place to ensure that they'll be working with one of our partnered agents. And then, like we mentioned, 680 FICO score. We're not collecting income documents. We're not going through the whole underwriting process. So we're just simply looking at that 680 FICO and ensuring that they have sufficient equity, like we were talking about earlier. And client must be an owner or be able to act on behalf of an owner. POA, LLCs, and trusts are completely fine. I actually see trusts a lot. We have siblings who are not wanting to take the liability. This gives a good solution for them to split it out of the closing proceeds equally. So I've seen this help a lot of trust situations, and same with divorce situations as well. And clients must not have any unresolved bankruptcies. And the 4 million list price we're working on, I know being in California, that's going to be a little bit tricky to stick under, but if there's any one-offs that are on the cusp of that, please just bring that to us and we'll try and make it work.
Oh, so it has to be under 4 million. Interesting.
Yes, right now it does.
But you have waivers on that or no?
I'll say that one more time.
Is that what is
that a
the
hard and
flexibility
fast?
on that 4 million?
Yeah, so that's why I was saying if it's on the cusp, bring it to us and we'll take a look at it and try and make it work. It's from the bank that backs us that has those requirements, but we are working on broadening that. It's just because this is unsecured, so there's no lien that's going on the home. So that's the general guideline that we're sticking with right now.
Okay.
And then how does it benefit you? So like I was mentioning earlier, it is shortening the time on market. So we're seeing homes sell about 31% quicker than if they weren't to use this program. And then percent like illustrating. So they're going to be able to maximize your commission. I've seen agents use this as a great tool to lead capture in terms of getting new listings simply from people who are hesitant to put their home on the market given the condition of the market with buyers wanting turnkey ready homes. So this has been used as a really great tool to hopefully chum up more business in that sense as well. And we have created white label materials for the agents in terms of being able to pitch this to clients and get those listings and improving agent reputation. So like we were stating, this is a pretty exclusive product. Not anyone can just go ahead and apply for this. So it's really fantastic in the sense that this is something you're bringing to them that a lot of other agents cannot. And then, of course, it's that solution for no cash problem, just illustrating the fact that this is easy. This is going to get repaid through escrow. They don't have to pay taxes on 401k. They don't have to go through the troubles of, trying to chum up that cash, which is really nice here. And then just to give you insight on what the client experience looks like. So they'll be able to apply in minutes. The application actually takes about 3 minutes total. I've had someone get into a cab and then have access to 50K after getting off that ride, which is really, really quick in terms of underwriting. And then they'll be able to get immediate access to using the funds. So like we were discussing, they'll get 5K direct deposited instantly. And then anything outside of the 5K, we just would require some sort of quote or statement of work there. They have access to use these funds for 6 months. If they don't tap in after 6 months, they would just need to reapply. And then repayment. So once they are under contract, we'll get the closing date from either you or the client, and then we'll send an escrow demand out to title. If for any reason the home does not sell, the loan would be due within 12 months of them tapping into the funds. However, if they choose to, for any reason, decide to use a different agent outside of the brokerage, they would actually have to repay immediately. Like we said, we want to value the partnership we have with you all. So if for any reason they decide, I doubt that happens frequently, but if they decide to work with a different agent, we want to protect you, they would owe back the funds immediately.
It would happen less frequently with that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And explaining this to somebody, you know, you were talking about LLCs, trusts, you know, sometimes you get involved with situations where people aren't all on the same page, maybe at the price point. If it didn't sell in 12 months and say they chose to lease it instead, if they are not in a position to repay it, what happens?
Of course, yeah, and we value those relationships that you have with your client, so we'd be willing to work out some sort of payment arrangement. There is one person, if it is a trust or an LLC that is applying, one person has to be on the application because that's how we're doing the soft credit pull. It kind of works like a personal line of credit, so it would be the person that is willing to do the application, that would need to, discuss the payment plan.
You also said something, again, in that, you know, many of us deal with people who maybe have properties here but don't live here. And I noticed on your credit that some of these states were actually quite high requirements. Is it based on where the property is located or where the person is located?
It would be where the person is located. That list actually just got updated. Let me go back to that. So this just got updated this week. It's only North Carolina that's 700, and Illinois is 700 now, and then Hawaii remains at 740. So the New York is now at 680, and I can send the updated list. This just happened this week. So that's what I was stating. We're constantly working on getting these eligibility requirements a bit more flexible. So really it's just North Carolina, Hawaii, and Illinois that remain higher. The other ones have cleared down to 680.
But if your clients live in Nevada or Mississippi, then this is not a program that they can.
Oh, Nevada is not available? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Even if the property's here, if their primary residence is in Nevada or Mississippi, then that's not an option.
Exactly. Yep. It would be where their primary residence is.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Makes sense.
So this is what the client portal looks like, just to give you a little bit of insight. Really nice. They would get access to transferring it to the bank, like we said right here, and then they'll be able to, monitor how many funds that they've actually used. Since it does work like a credit line, interest will only be applied to the funds that they actually use here. We can mail a check to the vendor. Insider knowledge, I would not opt for that option. I would have them transfer it to their bank and then write the check themselves, just because sometimes that can be a little bit slower. But it's super handy for them to be able to log in here anytime that they'd like and be able to do those actions. And that's where they would upload the invoice if it's outside of that 5K. And we do have an agent dashboard for you all as well. We know how busy you are. Obviously, you have a team behind you here to give you support and transparency into what's going on with your files. But just so you can look at this and have insight whenever you'd like, there is a dashboard that will organize all of the clients that you've submitted, what their status is, what the credit limit is, and then the closing date that we have on file as well, just because we know you're on the go, so that you don't always have to call in and see where they're at here. This is an example of one of the homes that we've worked on. Sorry, that before picture is a little bit dark, but you can see that we completely remodeled the kitchen and the living space here to brighten it up a bit. As is, this would have sold at 600K. The notable loan was for 47K, and then they were actually able to profit off of it after repaying the loan, with the sale price being 695. So this is a good example of how that price is going to increase and, maximize as much as we can without doing a huge dent to, the client's bank account when repaying us. And then just to go over a general recap here. So this is going to be a credit limit up to 50K. It can cover any expenses involved in selling the home. Super quick and easy application. We're just looking at the soft pull and they'll be able to see their offer in just a few minutes. No impact to their credit, like we were just saying. And then it is unsecured right now. So there's no mortgage or lien on the property. That's why the requirements are a little bit stricter. low cost. So it's going to be an annualized interest rate, or I'm sorry, interest rate of 1% per month. That annualized rate you'll want to divide, and that's how you'll get that average 1% from when they tap in until they close. And then basic qualification. So for California, it would be that 680 minimum FICO score. And then we're looking at that equity in the home as well. Great for entities, quick access. That initial 5K will be direct deposited, and simple repayment. So they'll be able to use the funds and then repay that at the closing table.
And what happens if, for example, like the client changes their mind, like, and they don't end up selling in the end?
So that's where they would, the general guideline is they would repay in 12 months from when they tapped in, or we can create some sort of payment plan with them. But if they decided to use a different agent, the funds would be used or due immediately.
So 2 questions, just to confirm, sort of piggybacking a little bit on what Joey asked. You keep saying the home, the home, the home. I just want to make sure this is something that can be used for multi-unit properties?
Yes, so it can be used for any property or occupancy type as long as it's residential.
Okay. And then a lot of what we have to sort of do in our business is handle objections from clients, and we sort of practice that. So the biggest one that I see with this, which I love your guidance on how to handle it, is how does it differ from Compass's program, being that Compass now kind of owns the world? Because I mean, I've been seeing their program being advertised as 2% of list price. I mean, this might be wrong now, that's why I'm asking you. 0% interest, like how is this program different from Compass's program? Or are we kind of competing with them neck and neck?
So they can only go up to 25K. Our credit limit's up to 50K, and that's going to be the biggest difference, is that they have more room to work with. It's a larger loan. In terms of the pricing, that has recently changed. I'm not on the Compass side, but I can definitely get clarification on that. I do believe theirs is a flat fee of, I want to say 750. But again, that has changed a few times. It's definitely not free to them, but we can go up to 50K, and they can only go up to 25K.
Okay, so basically they say 0% interest, but they likely have a higher origination fee.
Yeah, I want to say it's about 750.
Okay,
750 on 25,000.
that's great. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no problem. It is a better product, just in the sense that we have more flexibility. And I do believe they have stricter requirements when it comes to either the price, so the list price, because it is a smaller amount they're getting approved for, or the credit minimum as well. So I'm not exactly sure on that, but the biggest thing in dealing with objections is I would state the credit limit and that flat fee. It's definitely not free.
And the other thing is, I know some stagers work with you as well. I presume that if a client says, oh, well, the stager offered me this financing as well, I assume it's one pot of money. They can't like double dip with Notable with the stager for one and then with us for another 50. Is that a reasonable assumption?
Yeah, so in that case, if they're working with you, it would either be them doing it under the staging program or under this program. I would advise that they did it with the agent. That way, just because they'll have more flexibility with the use cases. But no, they can't double dip, so they can only have one loan open with us at a time.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, anybody else while we have her?
I think this is hugely exciting.
Yeah.
For us to be able to offer people.
It is. It's definitely a great program. And then I do want to point out, so there is an agent resource center. This has a bunch of marketing materials. And then this is going to be the agent success line. So you have a team dedicated to KW to help out with any sort of questions at all. So you'll be supported on this end. That's the contact information. If you want to take a picture of that, of course, we'll send it over to leadership as well. Just to give you a brief illustration here, this is going to be the agent center that we've created. This is where you can find the client link for them to go and apply. And then we've created a plethora of marketing where you can see a video that you can send. This is all client facing. My favorite one here is going to be the benefits and costs because it breaks down that 1% and illustrates what the actual fees would be, or of course the comparison between HELOCs and cash out refi. So there's a bunch for you to choose from here, and email templates, social media posts, and even a repayment calculator. So this will live be able to show the client how much is going to be charged based off of how much they spend and how long it takes. I have agents pulling this up in listing presentations and saying, if you want to get to this price, you're going to have to do new paint, you're going to have to put shutters in, you're going to have to do lighting, actually mapping out what they need. Because as I'm sure you've gone into a house where the seller's overestimating the sales price, this gives you a tool to illustrate what they need to get done in order to achieve that price. And then you can actually toggle how many funds that they're actually going to use, the loan duration, and you'll be able to calculate and see, you know, that 1% on average each month, which is a really, really handy tool.
Is it reasonable, you know how everybody's credit card and bank you could check your FICO score? Is it reasonable, because when you're applying for a mortgage, those scores tend to not be accurate, but is it reasonable to assume that it is relatively accurate for you? Like if somebody isn't sure what their credit is, they could check on their bank, and if it's over 680, it's probably a good chance they'll qualify?
Yeah, yes and no. So if they're looking on sites like Credit Karma, that's going to be their Vantage score, which is way off. The credit models, so we're using TransUnion for the soft pull. It's typically the Beacon 2.0 model that we use, or the FICO 4. So those are the conservative scoring models that mortgages use as well. So I would say if they're looking at Credit Karma, it's probably not going to be very accurate. But if they look on TransUnion and they look up their FICO 4 or 2.0 model, it might be more accurate.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Awesome. And then just so you know as well, so you can always go to the support section and get the contact information that I just went over. So if you need any help, like I said, we have a team here backing you to answer any questions. I know that pitching a financial product can be a little bit sticky, so we're definitely here to help out. But it is really amazing. I've seen it help so many people in the time that I've been here. So I'm really happy you guys get to use it. And that's pretty much all I have, unless there's any other questions.
No. I think you covered so much.
I of course have another question.
Charlotte, of course.
This to me
Oh,
seems
good
like a
questions.
great social media thing for
Yep.
agents to use to promote, to get listings. Do you
Yep.
have any
Yep.
materials,
Oh, yeah.
like visual, like video materials that
Yep.
we could incorporate into that? Yes, you do. Great.
Yes. So we have social media, and then also we do have this video. I believe you can get it downloaded. We are coming up with actually new videos as well in the near future, probably I would say this month. So this can be used in the time being for video. And then we have these posts that I was just showing you as well that you can post on social media.
And we're allowed to incorporate that into our own video or social media posts.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yes, exactly. If you're going to create something mentioning the product that's not on this site, just send it over to us, because we do need to run it by legal since it's a financial product, just to ensure that the proper disclaimers are on there. But if you're using anything from this website, you don't have to get it approved, just if you're creating something on your own.
Great, good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So obviously we know everyone has their own creative way of doing things. So we're happy to get that cleared out for you, and so you can post whatever you'd like.
Excellent. Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah,
Amazing.
of course.
Great
And
job.
then I'll get you a recap with that deck. I'll send over everything we went over, including these links. But again, I'm super excited. So just let us know how we can help you out here.
Will do. Yeah, probably some future. Do you have some educational piece of this kind of this presentation that we can send out to the agents who aren't able to get on?
Yeah, of course. I'll send you the deck that I went over.
Excellent.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for your time today, and look forward to working with you.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Excellent. Stretch. Time to stretch.
Yes.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
You guys have no, they're all relevant questions.